name's Brian. I'm grateful to be here today, surrounded by so many people who recognize that nonviolence is the way to deliver political change. You know, in his final book, Dr. Martin Luther King, he challenged us. He challenged us to organize so that the government cannot elude our demands. We must develop from strength a situation in which the government finds it wise and prudent to collaborate with us. That's power. Of the people, by the people, for the people. All right, for the next 3 minutes, I want to try a thought experiment with you. You probably know all about labor unions. Labor unions give a voice to workers by negotiating a better contract with management, ideally one where everybody emerges with dignity. So here's the thought experiment. Imagine that there are no political parties in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
I know there's a red team and a blue team, and the red team have done some pretty horrible things, but set that aside for a second and imagine that Congress as a whole represents management. It's actually true. The Constitution puts Congress pretty much in charge of setting national policy. So, working back, so now imagine that we the people have a union of voters that can negotiate with management for better public policy. Now, while a labor union can strike any time up till a contract is signed, a union of voters gets one chance every 2 years. That's on election day. That's when Congress comes to us asking for a contract extension. And it's up to us to decide whether they get it or not. So, working backwards, a union of voters would need to have a deal in place before election day so that they can vote as a bloc to either thank or spank Congress as a whole. That's the entire management team. All right, so who's going to write this deal for better public policy for the United States? Well, Congress likes to go into recess for weeks and weeks at a time when in fact there are years and years of work that need to be done. So, a union of voters can be the responsible adults who put the best interests of the country in mind, who promote the general welfare. A union of voters can put a legislative package on the negotiating table and say, these are the terms by which you can avoid a strike in the ballot box. Now remember, Congress can act whenever they want, at any time. They're already management. They have no excuses. So they would have to decide before Election Day, because if they refuse, then that's no by default. Yes or no. It's a binary choice. As Dr. King said, the government cannot elude our demands. So what do you think those demands should be? Dr. King's triple evils come to mind for me: fighting poverty, racism, and militarism. Our nation has so much potential. We can abolish poverty, universal basic income. We can ensure that access to health care is universal. We can overhaul our criminal justice system. We can fix our immigration system. We can shrink the military-industrial complex. We can defeat the national debt. We can ensure clean air and clean water. The truth is this: Congress has the power. Congress has the ability to address these problems if they wanted to. And if we can, as a union, seize the gears of legislative machinery, we'll be able to do that too. All right, now the good news and bad news. The bad news is that thing I asked you to put aside a few minutes ago, the existence of political parties, the red team, the blue team. Well, do you know what their guiding principle is? They want to defeat the other color team. The political parties benefit from a deeply polarized America. Stirring up fear and hate of the other is, coincidentally, excellent for fundraising. So a union of voters must be different, guided by Dr. King, who reminded us, hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. A union of voters must be bound together with love and able to sit down, even with bright red congressmen like Fayetteville's, look them in the eye and say, you are more than the worst thing you have ever done. Only when we can see the humanity in every member of Congress, and by extension, every person that they represent, can a union of voters wield the moral authority to bargain for a better social contract. Now here's the good news. How many of you heard of the 3.5% rule? Yeah, this is the percentage of the population that it takes to deliver nonviolent political change. And it's very, very true in our national elections. Even if 80% of the voters want to fight the red team and the blue team, if 3.5% bind themselves together in love and refuse to hate, they will hold the power to decide which colored team controls Washington. And that carrot forces Congress to the negotiating table. All right, now I got even better news. 3.5% is the true nationwide, but in places like North Carolina, it's even smaller. Our U.S. Senate race next year will probably be decided by 1% of the electorate. So if 70,000 North Carolinians come forward, they bring their votes to the negotiating table with love, with the best interest of the nation in mind, the red team and the blue team will have no choice but to cut a deal. Because by their own rules, they have to try and do everything they can to win. They will find it wise and prudent to collaborate with us. And if they acknowledge a new love-based political reality here in North Carolina, it will spread across all 470 congressional races in the midterm. My name's Brian, and I want to represent you in collectively bargaining for a better social contract in 2026. And if we, the people of the United States, form a more perfect union of the people, by the people, for the people, we can live up to our potential and truly become a nation with liberty and justice for all.